Hi, it's Jez here from Nigezza.co.uk. Thank you for joining me today. I'm here on the 1st of January, so Happy New Year everyone. And first of every month I do a video hop with some other Stampin' Up demonstrators around the UK, Stamp Around UK. They're all linked down below, so after you've watched this you can go and see what they've made. Our theme is new, so yeah, it could mean anything. So I've gone with new products. So we've got a new catalogue coming out on the 5th. I bought this bundle, Dainty Delight, stamp set with coordinating dies, and of course it's celebration, so you get some free paper, and so pack of 12 sheets there. So I have made something with the paper. I'm going to be making a journal, so if you want to join in with me you can get this set, or you can use anything and just come along for the ride with whatever you've got. So out of one of the sheets I have made 2 tags and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 journaling cards. So stay tuned and I'll show you how I did it. So I'm going to use the Dainty Flowers DSP, which is free with a £45 order. The colours in it are Blushing Bride, Crushed Curry, Fresh Freesia, Mozzie Meadow, Old Olive, Rich Raspberry and Starry Sky. So you've got 2 different styles of sheets that are this sort of paint splattered, which I think is lovely and pretty useful. The other side of that sheet has got these flowers, and it was the florals that I was drawn to, because I was thinking, oh, I could vintage that up and use that in a journal. And what I didn't realise until I actually got it in my hands was this isn't a white background. It's I don't think you can tell on camera, but it's got a not pattern, but it's like, it looks like it's sort of slightly greyy. It's not a flat background, so I really liked that. I love these water wash pages as well. Love that with the foliage in it as well. Also something I like to use in journals. These sheets are great if you're card maker. Then these will cut up lovely to be card fronts. Again, it's got that background, which might be easier to see now. Also nice for the front of a notebook, a journal, whatever. And it's got another, at the back of that is another one of those paint splatted sheets. And then we've got this sheet. Obviously there's 2 sheets of each of these in the pack. And I watched somebody do a little unboxing. Again, it's got that sort of grey speckly sort of background. Don't know how to describe it really. And they were like, not really sure what to do with sheets like this. And I just looked at it and I went, at 6 journaling cards and 2 tags, which is what we're going to make today. Then we've got, so each side you've got a plain side and then you've got a floral side. So that's a nice dotty Fresh Freesia. The other side of that is this green foliage, very useful for journal makers, which is the reason for getting this paper pack. And then we've got a nice Starry Sky background, and the other side of this is this lovely Rich Raspberry display of flowers. Love it. And then we have this lovely pink, and I'm not a pink fan, but I don't mind that because of this sort of water wash on it. Gives it a little bit of an old vintage look. I quite like it. And then that's the other side of that. So I just think this would be lovely little sort of pockets on journals, probably side pocket tags. I just think they're lovely. So we're going to go back to this sheet. This is the sheet we're going to use today. So I've made journals before with Stamping Up DSP, and I've kind of left them as they are, really. But I thought I'm gonna dye this with tea. I mean, often I use inks on them, but I thought I'm gonna tea dye it. So in this jar here, I've got 4 tea bags and some tea. I made it yesterday. Keep it in a jar. It'll last a while before I have to change it. So I've got a big paintbrush here. Sometimes I dye in a big bulk, and sometimes it's just as easy to do it like this, if you're just doing a little bit at a time. So I'm going to get a cereal packet liner. And as I've got the heating on, because it's -3, I'm wearing a onesie, a bobble hat. I did have some fingerless gloves on. I did get very hot, so I have actually turned the heating off. Don't need it. It was just Baltic when I got up this morning. So I'm just going to brush it on, and this is a new way I've done it. So I take advantage of when the heating's on to be able to dry the paper really quickly. I have never done this on DSP, so it's a first. I'm assuming we won't get colour bleeding from the other side. We'll find out, won't we? And if we do, then you'll know not to do this. I'm assuming it's all right. I have dyed other makes of paper, and I've done it my old method where I used to sort of plunge it into a bath of water. I use a kitty litter tray, and just paint it on, and then I used to put it in the oven. So it's not even, but it doesn't have to be. And that's one of what I like about doing this method. And if it was paper that was sort of aged naturally, it wouldn't be this, it wouldn't be even either. So yeah, that's what I want to do. And what you can do if you want is you can put some extra dribbles over it, some splatters, to get some other interesting little looks on it, what I like. So that is going to get laid next to my radiator to dry. So this is the sheet all dry, and to sort of get it flat, I just put it under some heavy books. So usually overnight is enough. It's actually been under heavy books for about a week now, because I started this for Christmas, and it's now at that between Christmas and New Year bit where you've no idea what the day is. Excuse my hands. I have been doing some experimenting today involving ink. So yeah, I really like the way it's turned out. So I'm gonna just cut them up. 2 tags, 6 journaling cards is what I'm thinking. So I have seen some beautiful examples of using these as card fronts. Yeah, I'm going to try and get that up to 2. I think that will work. I could actually go to 2 1/4, I think. Yep. Yep, we can do that. Maybe slightly too close there, but hey ho. Hey ho. Right, we'll cut that at 6. So I think they're gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Don't mind the back either. So 4 inches I think for this. No, yeah, 4, 8, 12, should be 4. There we go. Yep, might trim them a little bit more. So I could either mount those on some card or leave them as they are. I always think they're a little bit too thin to be a tag on their own, that they need something on them, but I quite like that. So, and I see other people that have tags this sort of size, so you know, maybe I won't. I'm going to use, excuse me leaning, I'm going to use my very best trio punch to do my tag top. I should have done the slip first, just because it's easier. There we go. So slip first, because you've got a bigger surface area there for it to butt up. Eyeballing it for the centre, about there. There we go. Took a bit of that flower off. I'm going to do this with a different top so you can see the difference. Oh, smash, bang, wallop. What a picture, oh, what a photograph. There we go. So that's the 2 differences in the top, one like that and one like that. So, oh, I might round the corners on these. I think they're dead pretty, and maybe just add a little word. I might leave those as that, because you can still write over that. So that's that. And I'm going to round all 4 corners on this, round detail. You've got to do some twisty turny, and you just make sure that you're matching them up to get your four corners like that. Cute, like them. And then you get these that could be used as photo corners if you want. I might collect them. I might get a wee pot and collect them, so I might use them later on in something. So that's a Pringles lid. I collect my Pringles lid because they fit on top of these glass ramekin dishes that you buy that come with a free chocolate pudding. And Pringles lids fits on top, which is cool. I've also started keeping the sort of plastic lid that comes with it, because actually on my craft desk they're okay. There we go. I'm going to continue doing this. I'm going to speed it up because you don't need to see it all. So cut them all and then I've been inking around them, so I didn't think you needed to see me do them all. So this is just soft suede going round. I do like to use soft suede. And I'm thinking, because although I think a bit of the tea dye-in has come through to the other end, because I don't know if you can see, but there's a flower on that side, and on this side you can just see a little bit of the flower on this side, which does sometimes happen when you tea dye. You get a little bit of, I don't know, ghosting, I don't know what you'd call it, but you know, the pattern comes through a little bit sometimes. But I do want to make it possibly a little bit more on the other side, so I might get the blending brush out. I'm really liking the colour on this side. I think that's gone down really well. I just do that a little bit, just a bit. And I think I'm going to do a bit of stamping and maybe use some of the dyes. Right, so I have chosen that stamp and that stamp, and I've die cut all the elements that were standalone dies. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 outline dies that will cut these stamps, and then we've got some decorative ones. So I just die cut them out, partly to see what they look like. I may or may not use them. So these, I love that one, just love it. And then you've got a little stem here, so you can make your own sort of flowers up. I've just done them in crumb cake. I like that half a daisy as well. It's quite cute. We've got leaves that we can add as well. So some quite delicate things, some little flowers. I probably won't use all of these, but I just thought it was worth cutting them out. I do like to, I think, when you get die sets and stamp sets, I just like to stamp them and die cut so I can see what they're like, and then it helps with the creativity to start flowing if you can see them. Now we've got some extra little middles that could go in these flowers. Obviously if they were cut in different colours, then that would build up to make a really nice flower. But I've just gone for the one colour, a sort of vintage look, because that is what I like. And look, these are the bits that came out of the centre, but they could be little stems. Actually, maybe not that one. And so I thought what I might do is just stamp just a little bit on the edge. I've got Mossy Meadow out, which is one of the greens. I think it's got Old Olive and Mossy Meadow in this. So I think that should be nice and juicy because I re-inked it not long ago. So just a little bit on the edge, like so, just to have a little bit peeking. I might, so I've done that side, so I might do the other side, and that'll be sort of stamped off a bit as well. Yeah. Yeah, I'm liking the way that looks. Like so. I'm not going to do anything on the front for the moment. So these, I think that goes at the bottom. Yeah, because otherwise they're all coming down. So I might put this one on in the corner like so, liking that. And then I might have a bit of that coming in the top. It's quite pretty. And I've obviously picked up a bit of ink. Not that I'm worried about that, but I will now fold it over. It's just from when I went off the page. So that way up. I mean, you could change it up a bit, but I'm not gonna. Find that it's really helpful following a pattern. You've got continuity throughout the journal to sort of join it together, and it saves you thinking. So I've got my dottage there from Quiet Meadow. I've got that sort of script there from An Onculous Romance. So that was me thinking of some sentiments to put on it. I've got that's my blending one. This is my stamping one. Although actually I think I might prefer it a little bit subtler. So I might stamp off. And then I'm just going to put some dottage on here. Yep. So there's dottage on the other side, but it's colourful dottage. Let's do that. Same on this, I think. So we do need something in the middle. It's crying out for something in the middle. So right, I'm gonna, with this, is do my trick of taking the paper to it. So you get a much subtler imprint on it. Do like how that's turning out. Of course, you can use whatever stamps you've got. I love that over the flowers. I'm gonna repeat that because it's a great look. And then I'm going to put some on the tags. Super. So that's that. Looking all very pretty and vintage, and lost space of where they can go. And then I'm calling them done. Just need some ribbon in the top. So now I've got these, which you could still use on a card front. So could add a bit of that. Could cut some more out of those. decorate the front. I'm kind of liking those a bit more. I could stick some of these standalone flowers around them. I feel they need a bit of ink in. Where's the rest of them? There we go. Stick 3 on. Liking how that's looking. Stick a daisy there with one in the middle. Not really sure about the other stuff. I might sort of repeat this as an idea now I've kind of looked at it, or I might leave those without and put like a sentiment on them. Right, these need a bit of ink in, so I just use my blending brush because it kind of gets around the edges, and that is the easiest way of inking things like that. So I am thinking of sticking that there. So I'm going to cut this so that I'm only using part of it. So cut it off there. That'll work. And then I've got another one. But I'm going to make that a little prettier. I'm going to cut around that leaf there. So it looks a little bit better. So let's stick these down. So I like that. I'm going to go round where I've stamped a bit of text. There we are. Liking how that looks. I might do another one like that. And then I think it just needs one little word. So let's think about where these are going. I'll stick one up there. So one there. Should put it there. One over there. Yeah. So those haven't got anything in the middle. These have. So these I was thinking could do with a bit of stamping. So I had I do love, these are the moments we will look back on with joy, and I think they will go there really well. I want to make sure I get it straight, so I am not going to mess it up at the last hurdle. So I am going to use my Stamparatus. So I'm thinking putting it about there. So I want to check that that is straight. Now there are lines on here that help a little bit, but the only way of truly knowing is to stamp it, and that's where we have our practice grid paper here. That's straight enough for me. So put that down with the magnet. Yeah. Love it. Okay, so I found some words that I'd ready stamped. This is a retired Stampin' Up stamp set, which I often use. I just think the words are just perfect for journals. And then I've cut a few borders. So I've got the pad end ones out of Blossoming Happiness, and I got the scalloped edge one from Pen Flowers. And then I cut them in crumb cake, and then I've just inked them. And so I just think these would give a nice little edge to the words, so they're not just sort of floating. I thought about adding a doily, but oh look, there's another flower there. Yeah, I didn't have any that I thought would work, so that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm just gonna pop a little bit of glue on the edge of each of the words, and then let's pop that one out. That hole's not there, and then it's just giving it a nice little edge. And then I'm just gonna rip, and I think I'm just gonna, on this one, I'm not gonna bother with anything else. I don't think. Quite like it like that. So jewelry's still out on this one. I have remembered one sentiment that I think I might add, so I'm just going to put that there, like so. So that's 2 done. So I'm going to continue that. There we go, so they're all done. So I just need to do a tie up there, and I'm liking how they've turned out. So I've made something new look old. And then I found a sentiment. I remembered the lovely sentiment there from Wildflower Path. I always have trouble saying that. And then I stamped it. It was photopolymer, so I didn't need my stamperators. I stamped that at the top, and then I used that half daisy on it, and I think that looks smashing. And so then I decided, how am I going to tie my tags? And so I decided that we'd use a bit of this what's it called, crinkled seam binding. There we go. And I'm using one of the stamping blends to colour it. So just snip a bit off. I've got soft suede. Is this the light or the dark? It is the light one. So I'm just gonna colour that, and gives us a nice bit of vintage looking ribbon. And I like the look of baker's twine tied round a ribbon, and we have baker's twine in all the in colours. So I picked out a Starry Sky because that's the colour I believe is these bluey flowers. So just cutting off the length of that, and then just taking my dauber there that's got soft suede on it and just running it through a few times to make it look a bit dirty and old, like so. That should now be dry, that alcohol, and then that will be us done. So I just feed it through like so, and then tie a knot, state of my fingers. So all that bit of inking that I've been doing in a project to come at some point. So pop that down, tighten the knot at 90 degrees to where I want the bow to sit, and tie a bow. And that's me with a start to my Dainty Delight journal. So I hope you'll join me for the rest of my Dainty Delight journal. There we go. And if you want to join in, you can buy the bundle, and then you'll get, I think it's more than £45, you get this paper for free. So there we are. It was, the theme was new, so we have a new catalogue coming, launching on the 5th, I believe. So from the new catalogue I had new stamp set and die, and then this new DSP, which was absolutely free. And I've made something new look old. So I think these are going to look smashing in my journal. You could equally use them on the front of a card. So thanks for joining me. Don't forget to check out everybody else. They're all linked down below, and see what they've made. They may have used some new things as well, so you get a little bit of sneak peek of what's coming up. Bye for now. Don't forget to like and subscribe.